Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shergog, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at who is the actual strongest member of the Great Tomb of Nezarec. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's get to the topic at hand. Ainz Ooal, as you may have heard from me somewhere before, was indeed not the strongest player in the Great Tomb of Nezarec. While he was the guildmaster and thus the former leader of the entire Great Tomb, he was more occupied with administrative tasks. Naturally, he lent his ear to other players when they had problems, and his calm nature and the fact that one could talk to Ainz without being lectured or judged were the reasons why the other guild members proposed Ainz Ooal for the position of guildmaster. So it was a popular vote that got him where he actually now is, and through simple majority votes, the actual decisions within the Great Tomb of Nezarec were actually made. In terms of combat power, Ainz was actually only in the middle field when it came to his character build. However, thanks to his good timing and experience in PvP combat, he managed to win more than half of his battles. His role-playing build also had an unexpected consequence. I have already talked extensively about the goal of all life is death, and how Ainz could unlock this skill by using the character build he precisely had. However, there's another consequence that was rather unintended, because his role-playing focus as a dark overlord also influenced another. He precisely inspired Ainz Ooal to create a floor guardian after the image of Ainz Ooal, namely Demiurge. And because Demiurge was created by Ainz Ooal based on Ainz Ooal's example, he is now also obsessed with Ainz Ooal and considers him to be a genius and to be a great schemer. And therefore, he also even wished that he had been created by Ainz instead of Ulbert, which is just inconceivable for the other NPCs. But if Ainz Ooal wasn't the strongest player in the guild, who is it? Well, in terms of magical power, we know of two individuals who were surely better than Ainz. First and foremost is the creator of Albedo and her sisters, Tabula Smaragdina. In terms of magical power, it was stated in the third volume that he was clearly superior, although we don't know by how much and how he fought. And also none of his weapons were used in the fight against Chaltier, so we have precious little detail about his actual character build. But we can still speculate that he possibly focused on things like mind control and inflicting status debuffs rather than direct damage-dealing magic. And I say this because his character class is that of a Brain Eater, the same class as Neuronist Painkill. So like the undead overlord, Ainz Ooal, who is able to focus on insta-death magic, a Brain Eater has perhaps abilities that focus on things like mind control or other status changes, such as confusion or rage. And there's a second mage who must be mentioned, Ainz Ooal himself. The bipedal goat had the most potent spell in the entirety of the Great Tomb, and the entire game for that matter, namely Grand Catastrophe. This spell consumed around 60% of Ainz Ooal's mana alone, and in return is powerful enough to eliminate several high-level enemies in just a single attack. It's a high-risk, high-reward spell and extremely rare. The spell can only be acquired by one who defeats an opponent, be it a player or another NPC monster, with the World Disaster class. In other words, only Ainz Ooal himself and those who defeated an enemy like him can use this spell, and therefore no one else in the Great Tomb of Nezarec can even learn it. In addition to all of this, Ainz Ooal had also chosen additional classes and abilities that further enhanced his offensive magic potential, increasing the damage he inflicts with other spells as well. Therefore, Olbert is rightfully considered the strongest magic caster in the Great Tomb of Nezarec in terms of sheer damage output. Grand Catastrophe is, by the way, also stronger than Fallen Down or other super tier magic, and even its lesser version, Petite Catastrophe, used by Mare against Zeshi, was enough to knock her out, and almost killing her in the process. However, Olbert Elaine Odell was not the overall strongest combatant among the players in the Great Tomb. This honor goes to the world champion Touch Me. He could defeat not only Olbert Elaine Odell, but also every other player in the Great Tomb of Nezarec. And although we don't know all the details about his combat strength, he possessed the ability World Break. And according to Touch Me, this is an immensely powerful skill that can essentially shatter reality itself, disrupting the very fabric of space and time, which was also the reason why Sebas was pretty cautious when Pershurian boasted about a similar ability in the 6th volume of Overlord. And World Break is also practically a stronger version of Ainz Ooal's 10th tier spell Reality Slash. And if Reality Slash already inflicts enormous damage, then World Break must be even more potent. Moving on to the best sharpshooter in the Great Tomb, and that would likely be Pero Ronchino, the creator of Shaltir and brother of Buku Buku Shagamar. With his bow made of light, he could make precise headshots over considerable distances. This means, for example, that Ainz could be sniped on top of the tallest building in Irantel, when Pero Ronchino is standing somewhere in the Azalesian mountain range that you can see faintly in the background. So Pero Ronchino was an extremely dangerous sniper, and he tailored his character build for brutal efficiency to further increase his damage output. While Ainz was more of a role player, Pero Ronchino was almost entirely focused on PvP. He was also the first to start using in-game cache items and other in-game cache advantages to enhance his character's strength, even though he and the rest of Ainz Ooal's predecessor organization were part of the so-called No Cache Alliance, originally wanting to not engage in in-game purchases. But eventually, the benefits from cache shop items outweighed his reservations, and he made his first purchase. And finally, this brings us to the most powerful entity in the Great Tomb, as Touch Me, despite all of his might, is only the strongest player. But the most potent being in the Great Tomb of Nezarec is Albedo's little sister, Rubedo. She was likely created with the help of a world-class item, a caloric stone, making her even stronger than Touch Me. And we also know that the 8th floor hierarchy, the mighty NPCs on the 8th level of Nezarec, might possibly receive a world-class item from Ainz, in order to ensure that Ainz can be actually certain of Rubedo's defeat in case of any problems. So Rubedo poses a genuine threat to basically the entire Great Tomb of Nezarec, and I hope we will eventually see her in the last few novels of Overlord. And with that said, that's pretty much it. And now it's your turn. Do you agree with what I have said? Do you disagree? Let me know your opinions down in the comment section. And while you type, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Ada Daddy Ada, ASK, Bad Girl Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Bezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feralchivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia Wiffy Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pentum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Q&A Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrinekeeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock at Smasher, T.E. Wang, The Shawkeye, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.